Welcome to Assist College of Arts and Commerce. This is Assist Edupedia. Today I will be covering up the topic called Classification of the Companies Part 1 uh, for the classes of SYBVI. The subject is Corporate and Securities Laws. For SYBAF, the subject is Business Law, and for SYBCom is also subject called Business Law. Classification of the companies according to the Companies Act 2013. The companies have been classified into three main categories. One is called chartered companies, second is called statutory companies, and third is called as registered companies. Now, what is chartered companies? Chartered companies is not at all existence right now, but I would be speaking about the according to Companies Act 2013. Also, chartered companies one which has been created by the under the Royal Charter granted by the head of the state. The well-known chartered companies were East India companies, and an earlier stage it was Bank of England. Statutory companies are those which are being enacted by the Act of Parliament or by given a special status by the central or the state legislature. The well-known companies under the statutory companies are Reserve Bank of India, which has been formed by the Act of Parliament, followed with SBI, State Bank of India, the company which has also been formed by the Act of Parliament, followed with LIC, a life insurance company that is also been formed by the Act of Parliament. Employee State Insurance Corporation, that is a company which has been recognized by the Act of Parliament. Central government had passed this company. The main objective of this particular company is to provide the insurance for the employees who are working in industries or the factories. Also, they have their own clinic and they also have their own hospitals. The next one is called Unit Trust of India. They are into the mutual funds, and the ONGC, that is called as Oil and Natural Gas Company. They are also been formed by the Act of Parliament. Now the third part, that is the classification under which according to Companies Act these are registered companies. I would be going out one by one. 1 to 8 would be covering up in today's lecture, and after that would be covering up the rest of the companies which are been governed under the Companies Act. The registered companies are private company which has been given in the section 2 subsection 68 of the Companies Act 2013. Public company under section 2 subsection 271 of the Companies Act. Producer company section 581B of the Companies Act. Company with the charitable object section 8 companies which are quite popular. The other registered companies are one person company under section 2 subsection 62. Companies limited by shares under section 2 subsection 22. Companies limited by guarantee section 2 subsection 21, and associate companies under section 2 subsection 46 of the Companies Act 2013. The other companies which are also been covered up under the Companies Act which are registered from 13 to 24, 13 to the numbers which I would be given in the coming slides, that is foreign companies under section 2 subsection 42, small companies under section 2 subsection 85, investment companies under section 186, unlimited companies under section 290 under section 2 subsection 92. Coming to the private companies, I would be explaining you what you mean by private company, and according to Companies Act 2013, which has been defined under section 2 subsection 68. Here, according to Companies Act, we require the minimum numbers of the members should be 2, and the maximum, initially it was 50 under Companies Act 1956, now it is changed to 200. They cannot invite the public to buy its shares. So it is nearly private. It is being a private company, they have to generate the revenue from their own. Only they have to file the statement in lieu of prospectus with the ROC. They need not to file an prospectus to ROC. They have to give only a statement. Restriction on the rights of the member to transfer shares. They cannot share. They cannot transfer the shares to the normal public. They have to do it within them. And the minimum number of directors is restricted to 2. No restriction on the remuneration of the directors. The directors can have their own remuneration that is not at all fixed, depending upon the profit what they generate. The well-known private companies are Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages Private Limited, who are into the business of soft drinks. The well-known reputed private limited company is Malabar Gold and Diamond Company. They are selling the golds and the diamonds online as well as offline. And the very well-known popular in the manufacturing of the biscuits and the confectionery is Parle Products Private Limited. They are the well-known private limited companies. The going to the public limited company, which is defined under section 2 subsection 61 of the Companies Act, minimum members should be 7 and the maximum should be unlimited. The additional feature is that they can invite the public to buy shares or debentures from the market. Recently, Railtel company had launched their prospectus into the Economic Times, and they had also given to ROC, and they had generated the revenue, they had generated the shares, they had asked the public to buy its shares. So public company can ask the normal public to buy its shares. They have to file compulsory prospectus with the ROC. The members are free to transfer the shares. Normally the share transfer is done through the broker. Broker has been registered with the SEBI, and we have to pay the brokerage fees. So through the demat account, the people can buy as well as sell the shares. According to the Companies Act 2013, the minimum number of directors should be 3, and there is a restriction on the remuneration of the director. The 11% of the net profit has been the maximum profit what these directors are entitled to receive. The well-known public limited companies are Larsen and Toubro Limited, Steel Authority of India Limited, and the National Thermal Power Corporation Limited are the well-known public limited companies. The new concept which was introduced in Companies Act 2013 is producer company, which is been given in the section 581B of the Companies Act. Any of the following combination can be a producer and can incorporate a producer company. Nearly 10 or more than 10 people can combine together, then they can form their a producer company, or 2 or more producer institution can combine together and form a producer company. A producer company is a body corporate, same feature like the company, having the object is one or of all the following, that is called production, harvesting, procurement, grading, pooling, handling, marketing, selling, the export of primary produce of the members, or the imports or of the goods or services. Normally these peoples are having their main target is to produce the goods, and then this been given for the some other company to market the product. The well-known companies are Agrofarm India Producer Company Limited, which has been registered under the Companies Act. Mac Life Producer Company, it's a company which is also into the production of the milk, and they have been registered as a producer company. A popular brand in the Kerala region is the Kerala Chicken is a producer company with a charitable object which is defined under Section 8 of the Companies Act 2013. The Companies Act defines Section 8 as the companies whose main objective is to promote fields of arts, commerce, science, research, education, sports, charity, social welfare, religion, or environmental protection, or other similar objects. The firm may be the member, the partnership firm may be the member of the company registered under the Companies Act. Also, the company may amalgamate only with another company who would be having also similar object like of charitable purpose. If the company, that is who has been registered under the Companies Act for the charitable purpose, makes a default, then there is a fine of rupees 10 lakhs, or it can extend to rupees 1 crore. And every director and every officer would be liable for a fine of rupees 25,000 or imprisonment up to 3 years. The well-known companies which are been registered are FICCI and Confederation of Indian Industries, which are also been registered for the charitable objects, including the Tata Group, Tata Trust Scholarship, a very well-known group who is giving scholarship for these students who are going for educational purpose, for studying in India, or for higher education like CA or CS, or for the medical, or for those students who are going for abroad for doing the education. This particular company, who's been registered under the charitable object Section 8 companies, the well-known Tata Group. The next one, quite a very popular, as I discussed in my earlier video also, that is one person company, that has been registered under Section 2 subsection 62 of the Companies Act. One person company means a person who is been individual, he can form his own company, and he has to obtain a person who has to be registered as a nominee. So the advantage of the one person company is that it is a single owner, it has a one shareholder, it is a separate legal entity. Once the company has been incorporated, the director is something different and the company is also different. Also, they has a less compliance or related to MOA and AOA, and they are securing the personal wealth. The well-known one-person companies are Mobarappa, OPC Private Limited, and Purely Edible, the Commodities Private Limited, which is from Kerala, those who are into the manufacturing of edible and the Vanaspati oils. Coming to the next one, company limited by shares, Section 2 subsection 22 of the Companies Act, which defines the companies that has the liability of the member limited by such an amount that is unpaid on the respective shares held by him. Limited by shares refers to the liability of the shareholder to the creditors of the business for the money that he had invested originally. If the shares of the shareholders are fully paid up, he has nothing to pay more. But in case of partly paid up or unpaid portion is payable at any time or during the existence of the company or prior before the winding up of the company. And this type of companies are quite common in the commercial, trading and the industrial world. Company limited by guarantee, section 2 subsection 21. The main reason for this is a charity community project or of a company limited by share is to protect the people running the company from the personal liability for the company's debt, as the business may be set up by the company limited by the shares for some reason. The company limited by guarantee is also termed as guarantee company. In a simpler term, it is a company without any shareholders, but it is owned by the members called guarantors who agrees to pay the nominal amount in event of the companies being wound up. It is a specific form used for non-profit organization. Coming to the last part, that is called associate company, which is defined under section 2 subsection 46 of the Companies Act 2013. An associate company is a firm that is owned in part by a parent entity. Unlike a subsidiary company, the parent will be only own a minority or non-controlling stake in the associate company. The associate company relationship often occurs with the joint ventures. Thank you for all in this particular video, which is the part 1 of the series of the types of company. In my forthcoming video, I would be speaking about the part 2. The remaining parts of the companies would be shared in my forthcoming videos. Thank you from my side.